What's up, everyone? It's the interview queen Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Rob Van Dam, listen to True Heel Heat. Pow.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble, episode 152, Door Off the Hinges, reviewing the June 26, 2024 edition, a Go Home for Forbidden Door edition of AEW Dynamite, as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by the man of 54,000 subscribers, shortly approaching 55,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, your The Boys review, House of the Dragon review, and his great Yankee fitters, as well as honest criticisms of All Elite Wrestling and Tony Khan. He is Jimmy Macram.
Hello, ladies and gents. Door Off the Hinges. Is that talking about the quality of the show? Is that talking about the fact that so many people came through? Are you like Nas now? This is like a double entendre. It's very clever, if so.
I am. There was a lot off the hinges on this episode, and like you, I think the best message, like we've been saying the last couple of weeks, we've been messaging more during the live editions of Dynamite. The best thing you said was, This feels more like the Forbidden Door build of, hey, here's a guest star here. Everybody gets a great guest star.
What is this? Who are these people?
I was like the last couple of years, it was like, Okay, I understand. New Japan had like Dominion and tours after Dominion, and they can only get the people to the last week. But no, there's no excuse for the amount of guest stars we got last minute on this show.
I was so happy with the build, and then they reminded me that Tony Khan runs the show. I think this show to spite me. They get him like 7.5, like 3 weeks in a row. He was like, "I got you, champ." Appreciate it, Tony. Keep watching. I appreciate you.
We appreciate you watching, Tony, for sure. But yes, we got a bunch of people already in the chat with us today, like Power Driver Finisher, like our good brother G Loke in the chat as well. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. We appreciate y'all. If you're watching us on demand, remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. You're watching us on the YouTube channel. Drop the thumbs up on the video. Helps the YouTube algorithm and helps other wrestling fans like yourself check out AEWramble, the best AEW Dynamite review in the land. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can drop a thumbs up, a heart emoji, an angry emoji, a laughing emoji. However, AEW Dynamite last night made you feel. Watching us on Twitter, drop the heart, retweet the video, helps others like yourself see it over there. And if you're watching on any of the 3 platforms, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys and hear your thoughts on last night's AEW Dynamite. If you have a hot take, a question, and you want to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen, you can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here for AEWramble, goes back to myself and Jimmy Macram, and we always appreciate the support, or as Jimmy Macram says, we broke. We need the support. So we appreciate you regardless. We also got in the chat here your favorite Frantic World, who says, "What's up, SP3, Jimmy, and chat?" We also got One Mike Nation, who says, "What's up, True Heel fam?" Absolutely. We appreciate you. We got Frantic World, who says, "SP3, I think Tony Khan just pulled and Kendrick move." We got CMLL teaming up with AAA wrestlers on an AEW New Japan pay-per-view. I got that already in the chamber, already in the back end. I posted that up because, yes, the Bloods and the Crips of the professional wrestling world are teaming up on Sunday, but it should be on the fucking main card, Tony. I know you're watching. Put it on the main card. Stop being a coward, or stop letting Chris Jericho take your lunch money and say that he has to get a spot on the main card. You don't need a spot on the main card. You give him a spot on the 0 hour and switch it with the Bloods and the Crips teaming up for the first time.
Listen, this pay-per-view is clearly not for me. It's clearly for you losers. So if that's what you guys want, you guys should have it. I agree. I'm with you.
Hey, this pay-per-view was for you for like a couple of weeks. It seems
No. The build was for me. The build was for me. The pay-per-view is not for me. I saw the card the other day. I was looking at the card. I don't give a fuck about any of these fucking matches except the main event. Not one.
Come on, you don't care about Tony? Tony and Mina? They got the second best build.
Yeah, that's not really impressive. I'm the fucking tallest member of my fucking household. So what? What was I say? Yeah, all the matches I either don't care about or I can pick a winner. Like Stephanie and Mercedes would be interesting, but come on, I mean, you know what's gonna happen, don't you? Don't you? Tony and Mina, I expect to know what's gonna happen, don't you? Don't you?
Naito and Moxley is unpredictable. I know you don't care about Naito.
See, there we go. All the ones that are unpredictable, I don't give a fuck about.
Why don't you care about Naito? Come on, you would.
Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre, like.
Well, I blame Matt on Orange Cassidy because by the way we were talking about during Zack's matchup, you seem like you're getting on the side of being a Zack Sabre fan.
Zack Sabre's so smooth. He's fantastic, but I can't. It's not about him.
I know it's Orange. I know Orange. I know your feelings on Orange, and if you've been watching AEWramble during the Double or Nothing build, I'm closer to Jimmy's side on Orange Cassidy right now.
Oh, come around! There you go. Jesus, take a vacation, nigga.
Oh. We also got Power Driver Finisher. He says, "Nah, I don't really care for the New Japan stuff, NJPW stuff," which is fair with the year they had. They've had a rough year, and they don't have that much star power. So, understandable. We got Louis in the chat. He says, just finished watching this episode. Was decent at best.
Yeah, agree. Actually, my exact take.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment. Like you can't. I wouldn't say that this was the best episode of the build. It feels like the build peaked last week with the Ospreay and Swerve promo.
Should have closed the show.
Which should have closed the show for sure. For sure, I agree with you there as well. Power Driver Finisher saying these guys just out of nowhere, just because of Forbidden Door. I get it, but they're just grouping folks up till the pay-per-view.
And niggas showing up and then doing nothing. Showing up to have a stare down. Showing up to have a multi-person stare down. The match is not happening. What the fuck are we doing? What is this?
A match that's happening on Collision.
You know what this was? This probably should have fucked up for 3 or 4 weeks now, but it hasn't. It's gone relatively well. But we have had so much shit in a row happening. There's all the collisions and fucking rampages, the pay-per-view, the next pay-per-view. We got fucking the big show next week. We got fucking blood and guts. This probably should have happened a couple weeks ago. It should have come off the rails 2 weeks ago. But it just happened just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Because it like this is the other thing. Like this episode, I like my AEW go home shows when it's focused on the pay-per-view. And I can't say that, I would say for the overall, each segment was trying to build to the pay-per-view. But my big issue, and I messaged you yesterday before I went to sleep, I was like, my main issue is they tried to tell other stories on top of just building to the payper-view. Like we had a whole entire opening segment that had 30 seconds of build to the pay-per-view, and then was trying to build to the next pay-per-view. What are we doing?
I love that. It's shocking. Like, what the fuck? Hire a booker, sir. You can still pitch in. I'll pitch in. I'll be the highest donator with relativities.
I already said, like, what they really need to do is hire, you for WWE, me for AEW, and I think we would have no complaints.
Absolutely.
And we don't even need to be writers. We just need to edit what Tony and Paul does.
Yes.
Like it's like we're the teacher. Like they give us their homework, and we're like, all right, let's move this around. Or we're like a tutor. We're like, let's move this around, and of course we're gonna do it for a wage because y'all niggas are paid. So you're gonna need some of that Tony Khan money, and you're gonna need some of that Nick Khan money.
Most of my complaints would be this is not a main event. Sorry, no disrespect. Fucking New Day and fucking Judgment Day is not a main event. Not New Day.
Like if we switch sides, my main complaint for Paul would be stop all the DQ finishes. Damn, every show. Nigga.
Yes.
Like,
no, I'm sticking up for Tony Khan and I'm sticking up for Triple H every week. I'm good with one DQ finish or no contest or count out, whatever per show. Yes, I'm sold. Yes. Pro DQ.
I don't need it every show. I don't need it every three-way feud. Every fucking month he has a three-way feud that has multiple DQ finishes.
You know what else I wouldn't do? Enough of these number one contendership three-way, four-way matches. If you don't have guys to do it, then we don't do it. The 3 or 4 means you ain't got a guy. All right. 4-way tag match for the number one contenders to the women's tag. Oh, that's another thing. Enough of these women's tag team titles. I'm sorry. I appreciate you. They gotta go. It's over. They've gotta go.
Or just keep it on one show and don't put it on Raw. I know you got 3 hours, but like, dude, like, please, like, it just kills. It kills the crowd. It kills the crowd every Monday. And don't put Karrion Kross in the 3rd hour of a Monday Night Raw, or I'm going to sleep.
Oh, I feel so bad for him. He's actually a really funny guy.
He is. He's good on the mic. Like, just have him talk.
Yeah, sure. Say some more creepy shit. That's cool.
Absolutely. Joe Pearl, check out the True Hill Heat Twitter. I called MJF out on that. I was like, he did a whole shilling bit and set the wrong date for Forbidden Door.
Oh, he did? I didn't catch that. I got mad and muted it because I didn't want to see that shit. Oh my God. Poor MJF. You hear LA Knight in the background. Trash.
We got our first super chat donation from our good brother Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. We appreciate the support.
Listen
as
up,
always.
you prick.
Will says, why you guys think AEW didn't try to get Jacob? I know he wanted to go to WWE, but you could still try. Why would you try if he was very adamant that's where he wanted to go? Like, that's like I'm saying this as a basketball fan as well. This is what the Lakers just did with trying to get Dan Hurley. They shouldn't have tried to get Dan Hurley because all he was going to do is reject you and you look bad by offering him something that he was always going to reject. You should have just went for your first option of JJ Wright.
You look bad. When the fucking, so what? They're fucking franchise. You're not a fucking runway model. You go for what you go for. The gap between JJ and this guy is so wide, you got to go for it. Sorry. What do you mean? I'm not sure who this Jacob is you guys are referring to. You're clearly referring to Caesar. No, they're referring to us. Are they referring to Caesar Sokoa? As my good friend told me he would be named. Oh.
Hey, that only works if it's Solo's new name. But it seems like they've kind of scrapped that. They scrapped it.
No, he's gonna do it fucking on the SmackDown. I've had the guys.
You think that's the acknowledgement ceremony? It's changing his name?
I'm not the tribal chief. I'm a Caesar, the Caesar, as a matter of fact.
Okay. All right. I mean, hey, we'll see. We'll watch. I'm gonna watch SmackDown. That was the best episode of SmackDown. Like I said last week, Raw was the best Raw since Cody bled in the rain, but SmackDown was the best SmackDown. I went back and I thought about all those Rock episodes. Those Rock episodes were exceptional, and the best one was when Roman had Rock acknowledge him. That was the best segment. That's the best segment on a SmackDown. But top to bottom, last Friday was the best episode of SmackDown.
Agreed. And I think we can put together why all these episodes are great. If you think about last year, there's the episode where Cena and Roman are together. And then obviously the Rock episodes from the beginning of this year. And then this episode, it's Punk and Cody. You need stars, sir. I know everybody's hurt, but it's not a coincidence these are the best episodes. Not an accident. Yeah. Paul Heyman's MVP of the episode, by the way. Take me with you.
Who?
Paul Heyman.
Man.
Take me with you. Paul Heyman fucking hilarious. That was fantastic.
He was great. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10 on the Sports Kita for that episode. So, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We got Chase chilling with Chase who says, yeah, please, you guys be copywriters, need better scripts. Absolutely. Like if I see like the format for last night's show or not putting Swerve and Ospreay in the main event segment last week, I'm ripping it up and I'm like, you know what to do. Like, come on, man. Like,
absolutely.
Don't do this.
We want to spread out the main events. Why? But for what? For why though? Yeah. Swerve and Ospreay.
Exactly. Like, and I would have told him, and like last night, if he gave me the format for last night, I was like, you have 2 coexisting tags. Let's scrap one and let's do the women one, but let's do Ospreay and Garcia this week. Ospreay is in Garcia's hometown of Buffalo. Instead of spending 15 minutes little brothering him and rubbing him on the head because he's in his hometown, let's put him in the main event where he can have a star-making matchup.
Yeah. Well, did MJF match this week? You're not doing it for all in. At least I pray you are not. I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned about Garcia and MJF fucking all in. But just a match. Why are we holding off on it? For what? Yeah. Oh.
We also got Tyrone Kidd who says Tony and Paul's booking has nothing on HBK's booking on NXT. I'm going to say that's a high key cap because y'all are overrating Shawn Michaels' booking so much right now. So much.
Wait a minute. Didn't fucking last year you guys were telling me that Shawn Michaels, was that you or was that Josh? Whatever, Josh. Shawn Michaels better than Triple H? Get the fuck out of here. That wasn't you. All right, fair enough.
Maybe it was me. I won't front. I did like Shawn's booking at one point, but then I realized that the reason that I liked Shawn's booking is because I like Shawn Michaels' career. And all he was doing is redoing his career angles.
Fair enough. It's solid enough, but I mean, come on now. This is how can you watch Raw and SmackDown last week and tell me fucking NXT? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No disrespect.
Yeah,
Come on now.
yeah. And especially NXT. NXT, man. I feel like it peaked last week with Joe Hendry's debut, because I didn't like this week's show. I didn't like last week's show after Hendry was eliminated from the Battle Royal. It's fine, but I'm not saying I'm not in the, like you've been saying, over 7.5 or more with the WWE show. That ended the streak last week.
Wow, really don't like this show. Fair enough.
It was a 7. I'm not saying it's horrible. I'll watch it again. But this week's show was 6.5.
Okay, I can see that. It's just decent. It's fine. This is fine. I can skip this and not feel bad.
It's much better than 2021, 2022 NXT 2.0. I'll give them that.
Yeah. They found their group.
Yeah. We got another super chat donation from our boy Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. As always, we appreciate the support.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
He's coming back. He's coming back soon.
You saw it. That 1 minute, we were talking about it just before we went live. That 1 minute might have been the highlight of the show. Will says it's more funny if SP3 helped Triple H and Jimmy helped Tony. Jimmy would go to jail and try to choke Tony. It'd be like Jim Cornette. It'd be like Jim Cornette working with Vince Russo again.
I'd probably get fired pretty fast. I'm gonna be honest. Do we need to lead on the show? Do we need that? No.
that's Tony talking to everybody else when you leave the room. Why does Vince hate
Jesus.
It would be great. It would be so great. So great. We also got Christopher Kidd, who says, I haven't watched a Raw since Raw After Mania. For real. I feel like I don't have to. Raw's been, I gave last week's Raw 8.5. I gave this week's Raw. This was a great follow-up. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Look at you. We're on the same time of timing. Yeah, to be fair, you would have been right about skipping Raw up until, 4 weeks ago. Something happened. Oh, it was Liv and Dom, quite frankly.
Yeah. Liv and Dom was the first story. Liv, Dom, and the Chad Gable Alpha Academy and the Path of Destruction of Braun Breaker. Those were the tides that were carrying it over. Then they just got the Drew and Punk feud back. Then you got Seth Rollins back. Now we got some actual stars on the show. Right? Now Raw seems like it can be I think that we can get to SummerSlam with it being a quality show each and every week, right? Especially this week's show where they had layer upon layer, they had the show-long narrative of Liv and Judgment Day. You had that amazing Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy promo interview. That was tremendous. So it's on a good streak right now.
Had Braun Breaker knocking on the door. It's the greatest thing on the show. He knocks like a psychopath. His head is down. He punches this. And it's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. I don't know why I find it funny as I do.
Annika saying, dang, I actually agree with SP3. Carrying in the third hour is just, I'm in the UK. I'm 5 hours ahead of y'all. It's 3 a.m. If I see Carrie across the neck, I'm going to sleep. I was I literally stood up the whole time to really get the big follow-up for the Wyatt 6 thing. And I got that Bo promo and I went to sleep. I was like, Raw ended well. Raw had a good ending.
What a great 2-hour show.
What a great 2 hours. Basically 2.5 hours. I woke up. There was only 23 minutes I had to watch of airtime.
I'm sorry. I feel bad for him, but
Just have him talk. He's fine when he talks.
Somebody has to wrestle eventually. Somebody's got to wrestle eventually.
True. It's true.
See, that marriage is boring.
I just think he's boring in the ring.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Shout out to Safet saying, by the way, congratulations to Buddy Matthews and Rhea Ripley getting married this past weekend. So now we know what the family event that Fightful reported that Buddy had to take time off for. It was to get married to Rhea Ripley and piss off all you horny marks out there.
Listen, I don't care how much I'm making or what they got going on AEW. I'm fucking leaving to do that right away. Some advice, sir. This is a nice first step. And I know she's a star, she's on the rise, and she wants to take no time off. You gotta give her a 9-month break. You have to. There's no choice. Your position is very tenuous right now. I don't care that you get married. This is you're fucking marrying fucking Steve Austin, and you are distinctly not. Now put her 9 months on the shelf, sir. Here to help.
Just put like a whole bunch of like goth makeup, and then if you have a big ass bear trap, and then just unload it, and you're on the honeymoon, and then you trapped her for life.
Absolutely. I'm here to help. Trust me.
I knew where you were going with that, so I was like, oh, you threw up the ball, and I was like, Big Man Ron says, okay, I'm glad you guys weren't feeling that promo either. We're going to get into that shortly here. But before that, we do have another super chat donation from the one and only Will Chisholm. Once again, the GOAT. Thank you so much, sir.
You fucking mark!
Will says, I don't know how true it is, but people saying The Rock may pop up on SmackDown, and Rhea tied the knot to Buddy, Dom, and fold now and smash Liv.
That's hilarious.
He's married right now.
I'm sorry. I'm so annoyed with The Rock right now. I need time to heal. I need time to heal. I'm not over.
Why are you upset? Why are you upset with The Rock?
He's a egomaniacal suit wearing psychopath. How's that? Sorry, that's just. He's lucky, he's so talented. I like jarringly so. He might be the best wrestler ever, but greatest wrestler, not best. But I watched the WCW thing. I've heard all this. I've heard all of this numerous times.
Oh my
God! Just
God.
slapped his name on it.
Dude, like, I've never been so pissed off after 4 weeks of watching a show. Like, I've never been that pissed off. I'm like, this was a big waste of time. Like, he should not have been called Who Killed WCW. It should have been called How to Babyface Eric Bischoff.
I love that. I knew you were gonna hate it, man. Oh,
it was a freaking Eric Bischoff rehab project. That's all it was.
The man deserves. He's been getting knocked for 20 fucking years. Can he get some good praise? Finally?
No. That is why the MVPs of the entire series are Bret the Hitman Hart and Booker T. Who Booker's like, the person who gets the blame is the person with the checkbook. That's Eric Bischoff. And Bret just like Bret was not. He held no punches back. He's like it's two idiots like Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo who think they can come into the wrestling business and tell me what to do.
Bret is hilarious.
No chill.
Here's what I'm saying about Eric Bischoff. Did he shoot them out of the game? Yes. We're in agreement. He shot them out of the game. But my whole thing is he shot them into the game. That's all. If I shoot you into the game and I shoot you out of the game, how am I the bad guy? We would be here to lose if not for me getting us here. You're welcome.
Eric Bischoff as an executive, he's basically Doc Rivers as a coach.
Oh shit. I get you up 3-1. Now I'm the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy. I lost a 3-1. What? 83 weeks. What? Why? Give me credit. I don't deserve any other blame. It's everybody else. It's JJ Reddick. It's Sion.
That's fair.
It's Sting didn't show up in shape. Sting thought Hulk Hogan was gonna use his creative control that I gave him. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, I do wish he took a little more responsibility. That felt kind of gross.
It was gross. Like I literally said to the True Hill Heat chat today, I was like, I watched this finale, and it took everything in my power to not go to the bathroom and throw up. Like this was gross. Eric Bischoff looking out into the distance, like I did nothing wrong. And then Kevin Nash being like, the man's the only person who could say he beat Vince McMahon 83 weeks. He got how many 3-1 advantages? Like what?
Fucking shame.
Oh man, like, I don't even know if we're gonna do the review now. I was planning to do a whole review of the series, but I'm like, I know that Bischoff or somebody that watched it or someone from $7 Productions is gonna watch my review and be like, well, this channel is blackballed.
Yeah, fair enough. Amen.
Will Chisholm with another super chat donation. Will, you're killing it. You're killing the game, and we appreciate you.
Let's fucking go.
Eric Bischoff in 96. Go ahead, sir. Keep it up.
Will Chisholm says, if NXT talent had half of Bo Dallas acting, I might want to see them on the main roster. LOL. Oh shit.
They're kids.
I love how Will masterfully combined a compliment for Bo Dallas with an insult of NXT.
There's some talented people there, mostly the women. Do I want to see them on the main roster? Not yet. I'll be nice. Not as of the moment. No disrespect. They're all fine as hell. Jesus. They're all differently fine as hell too. What the fuck?
Yes. Very talented. Very talented in that fact. And we got another super chat donation, but this time from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries. You're also one of our top supporters for the month, especially, but throughout 2024. So we appreciate you.
He wants me to work with pricks constantly. That's what it is.
Nevertheless,
that's one of my favorite. Nevertheless, Doug Berry saying, even with the MJF and Will O rub, I don't see Daniel Garcia in an upper card match at All In, or at least deserving of it. No, because this was the key example of telling us and not showing us this entire.
Indeed. Yes, you keep telling me he's this, he's that. But he hasn't done this or that. I'm not entirely sure what you guys are babbling about. You guys tell me he's worked for it, I've win. It wasn't no Dynamite, clearly. Fuck you babbling about.
When he said, I've been a part of some of the greatest moments and matches in the AEW history, that's when it lost me. I was like, when? What? Which one?
Huh? Poor bastard. CTE is such a young age. It's a shame.
I was like, what? You're dancing? Huh? Is that one of the best moments? Because that's what I remember. You beating Bryan Danielson? It could have been a great moment, but they didn't really follow up on that one.
That leather jacket is a bad choice too, by the way. Especially because MJF's wearing one. And this kind of looks like he fits it well. Then Garcia's jacket is like he's wearing his dad's jacket. Jesus. Sorry. Read the robe.
Oh man. We got Dion Jenkins saying SP3, did you know that Jimmy is here for baby murder in TV shows? What? Yes. F. Kristen Cole.
All I'm saying is, if you want to have a cliffhanger or a reason to watch next week, a main event, quite frankly, you can't really beat baby murder. Murdering kids is top shelf. It's the big return or the big heel turns of regular TV. Baby just got killed. Huh? I can't believe it. Son of a bitch.
I'm back for all of it.
Absolutely.
Yo, for real, Big Hero Chris. It was 4 weeks of no one having self-awareness or taking accountability. All of them is sitting there having a whole conversation. There's a dead body in the middle of the room. They're like, I didn't do it. Everybody got blood on their heads. And everybody's like, I didn't do it.
That's the part that annoyed me the most.
Brad Siegel. Everybody talking shit about Brad Siegel. Brad Siegel just
that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. I mean, listen, I'm not saying he didn't have anything to do with it. I'm saying blaming the one guy who gives at least some fuck is wild. Sorry, all of you deserve something.
And this was like, I know you don't like too many media people, but this should have been a show that had at least one media person, because it's a whole bunch of motherfuckers that were too involved and don't remember shit.
I do find how interesting their memories get when it comes to shit they actually did. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's shocking, really. Oh, was that me? Yeah, it might have been me. Could have been me. It was a lot of us in the room. Really? Okay. Right. Nobody did it. All right. Whatever. Fucking ridiculous.
And I agree with you with The Rock. I understand your feelings on The Rock, because this nigga was in there as one of the talking heads. And I could say over 4 weeks, he provided maybe 6 sentences. He provided a paragraph across 4 weeks of 4 hours of television. He provided about a paragraph.
Rock is he's a suit now. It's sad, but it is what it is. He's there to make sure that there's some clips for the trailer to get you to watch. That he's not actually in it. Just saying random nonsense. They might have listened to WCW. I can see that.
I could see him, because he is that type of guy that would do something like that. But I doubt that he remembers.
So the company went out of business. There's no money to be made off of it. He was like, "Oh, who cares?"
He's like Jordan. He took that shot, crumbled up the paper, threw it in. We got Will Chisholm with another super chat donation. He was like, Chuck Berry, you gonna send 10? I'm gonna send 10 too. We appreciate the both of y'all. Thank you so much.
Tony Khan, this is also on you, because you can stop this.
Will says, I felt some type of way when R-Truth lost the title because of the blonde white woman. Swerve may have been happy. He's like to say he don't think Bianca is beautiful.
Swerve loses. He's like, worth it. She had her hands on it. Worth it.
He's like, I'm so used to having my hands on there now.
Yeah. He's like, something. Bianca thinks Steve feels accurate. So yeah, I don't know. It's just something about her. I don't know what it is. It's not the muscles.
Just can't put my finger on it. I don't know. The muscles, skin complexion. I don't know. We got Frantic World who says, quick question, SP3. You think Kendrick is going to win a Grammy for Not Like Us? If he puts Not Like Us and Euphoria on his new album, he's definitely getting album of the year.
He's not putting that on his album. He says fuck the industry like 3 or 4 fucking times during these beefs. I'm not entirely sure the best way to win a fucking Grammy.
Good point.
Sorry.
Good point.
There's Kendrick. He wins a Grammy every fucking time, puts an album out. So who knows?
Yes, I agree. I agree with Chilling with Chase. Will Chisholm, you're one of the funniest dudes ever, bro. He is. He be cracking me up. But let's get into last night's AEW Dynamite, which was from Buffalo, New York. What did you think about the crowd last night in Buffalo?
They were good until you spent the first 15 minutes talking about All In and Forbidden Door and what happens next week. And oh, God, we ain't shit. All right, fair enough. Then they went silent. Sorry.
And they had a good lineup of matches, but it was just like you start off with and you said Forbidden Door. They barely talked about Forbidden Door in this 15-minute segment. It was like, yeah, there's a pay-per-view on Sunday. Yeah. We kick off the show with New York's own MJF Maxwell Jacob Freeman, and he is here for a town hall meeting. MJF barely gets a word out when the hometown hero Daniel Garcia comes down. Garcia thanked MJF for his help last week before getting in MJF's face. He said he would do something that no one else has ever done. He's going to say nice things about MJF. Oh, how sweet. Garcia puts over MJF's accomplishments about how he was the longest reigning AEW world champion, and he brings up a conversation the two had about 8 to 9 months ago. He says that MJF came up to him and he told him that he can be more than a background player, and told him that if he earned enough wins, he'd give Garcia a title shot. Garcia got that title shot, but he says that it was one of the most embarrassing moments of his career. That moment, though, inspired him to go on the run of his career and earn the respect of the people. He wanted to be more than just a pillar like MJF. He wanted to be the backbone of AEW's future. And he's done that by busting his ass and putting on some of the greatest matches and moments in AEW history. Garcia then warned MJF that if he talked crap about Buffalo, he'd have the whole city on his head after what he just said. And MJF shamelessly says that, he's not going to talk any trash about Buffalo. He actually wants a quick moment to do some shameless shilling, where he brings up that he will be there this coming Sunday at August 30th at Forbidden Door in Long Island when he versus Hesazero, who looks more like a cartoon character. And then he quickly moved on off of the pay-per-view that's on Sunday to bring up he also is going to be in Memphis next Saturday for AEW Collision. Before getting to his next point, MJF got into Garcia's face, and before thanking him for praising him with all those nice words, MJF said that no one was good enough to take his spot, though. But he says he has to admit Garcia was close. MJF didn't give Garcia that world title shot out of pity or because Garcia was a big star that thought he deserved one, like so many that have come into this company. MJF gave Garcia that shot because he earned it. MJF saw a lot of himself in Garcia. Two undersized talents from New York with chips on their shoulder. But if you're from New York, you know that it's not about the dog in the fight. It's about the fight in the dog. He says that he beat Garcia all those months ago without breaking a sweat. But noted how much better Garcia has gotten since then. So MJF suggests he makes a challenge, and he says that maybe they should run it back. Maybe they should have a rematch, but they should do it on the biggest stage possible. And MJF is Daniel Garcia to face him at Wembley Stadium at All in London. Before Garcia can give his answer, I did a big like gasp of relief that Garcia didn't say, yes, that's the matchup. I was like, woo, when I heard Ospreay's music hit. The AEW International Champion comes down to the ring, and he totally ignores MJF, one of the former AEW World Champion in the ring. Ospreay jokes around with Garcia, saying that Garcia has been racking up win after win after win, and he's been doing it in such a fast time, even faster than he is in the bedroom. And he says he apologized to his missus for that one. He says he's going to try to get better before offering Garcia what he's been looking for: an AEW championship matchup next week in Chicago at Beach Break. But
look at MJF's face.
He says that though he appreciates Garcia for letting him handle his business at Forbidden Door, and for that, once Ospreay wins the AEW World title, he says he plans on putting that on the line against Garcia next week. Garcia agrees and accepts the challenge, with the announcers noting how Ospreay has just upstaged MJF. Before Ospreay leaves, he gets a brief little look at MJF, who is absolutely pissed. He feels like he has been, and like this dude Ospreay done put his dick on the table, and Max is just like, all right, I see how it is. And Garcia seems like he's about to answer MJF's challenge when MJF tells him to focus on next week, good luck, and he leaves immediately after. But it's made official. It will be Will Ospreay defending the AEW International Championship against Daniel Garcia next week in Chicago, AEW Dynamite Beach Break. That's going to be a great match for sure. But my main issue, I think I said it a lot during our opening of the show, but this had nothing to do with Forbidden Door. This has absolutely jack and shit to do with Forbidden Door, and it took about 15 minutes to get through all of this. This was like so much bad, and the little brothering of Daniel Garcia. I appreciate the effort to elevate Garcia and to put him on the level of everybody else, but it felt hollow as fuck, especially when he says, I've been in part of some of the biggest matches and moments in AEW history. I was like, no, nigga, you haven't. No, you haven't. I was like, you literally have had 0 credible wins since your rivalry with House of Black to begin this year. You had a bunch of momentum coming out of Continental Classic. They translated that into a really good rivalry on Collision with you and FTR versus House of Black. Then you got the matchup with Copeland on Dynamite that didn't have a winner. And then you got handed a TNT title match at Revolution that you lost. And then they sat you on the bench for like a month and a half before they started giving you all these quick victories where you've beaten the likes of Nick Camarado, Lee Moriarty. Last week, you beat Red Titus. What the fuck are we doing? You haven't got one credible win in your winning streak that you've had. You've beaten Shane Taylor. That's good. That's great for me. I like Shane Taylor, but in the AEW lexicon, that doesn't mean nothing. You haven't beat anybody. It just felt so hollow. It just felt like a forced attempt to put him on the same level as MJF and Ospreay, when in the end, the most interesting thing about this was the little interaction that we got from MJF and Ospreay and MJF's reaction to Ospreay upstaging him. That's what was the main thing that we got from this, and that's the real matchup of 2 stars, and I appreciate them trying to use their star power to elevate Garcia, but you got to do more showing instead of telling us, and that's all this 15-minute segment was, telling us, not showing us. And then on top of all of that, this is the go-home show to one of your major pay-per-views, and you spent about 30 seconds talking about it. Basically, shit the matchup. I know that's MJF's deal of, I'm versing a cartoon character. I'm versing someone from NJPW. I'm versing someone from CMLL. But you just totally put a big bucket of cold water on MJF. It was already a random-ass matchup that you set up last week, and you did nothing to build it up. Pick Garcia. The simplest thing you have to do to improve this segment is put Garcia in the damn matchup on Sunday. At least then we have a purpose for this shit that translates into the goddamn pay-per-view. You did more to build up next week's television show than your fucking pay-per-view. But MJF's reaction and Ospreay coming out, great stuff. MJF, this was the little kind of like breath of fresh air of, it seems like we're going to get the real MJF. The real MJF might stand up because Will Ospreay has not only upstaged him here, but Ospreay feels like he's taken MJF's top spot. And that's the real story of MJF and Ospreay. That was the good part of this whole entire segment.
You're an NBA 2K fan. At least you were at one point or another. You know, like Chris Paul will be like rated a 95 at point guard. For those of you not aware, Chris Paul is a Hall of Fame point guard, future Hall of Fame point guard. He was rated at 95. If you switch his position to like a shooting guard, it drops to an 87, even though none of the stats actually change. That's MJF as a babyface. He's just not nearly as good. First of all, the shilling is not cute. Getting the date wrong is hilarious. He doesn't give a fuck about this match. I'm assuming he gets some type of points on the pay-per-view. There's no reason to be on the pay-per-view. That's the fact that he wants to be on it because he gets paid. I assume. Why is he here? Against Hechicero. Anyway, I have no.
And I love Hechicero. I love Hechicero, but they've not done anything to make anyone care about Hechicero on this show.
He lost to BCC a few times. That counts for anything. Listen, it is what it is. Garcia is fine. He's not ready for the spot. Well, I'm not sure if he's not ready, but they haven't gotten him ready for the spot. He's not important to us, at least to me. I'm sorry. I don't care about him and MJF. I don't care about him and Will Ospreay. I don't care about his stupid dance. I don't care about any of it. I'm sorry. back to the drawing board and then do something. I got nothing for you. All in, I almost turned the show off. I know they're not going with that. I think they're not going with that match. I think it was just a red herring. But I almost turned the show off. I was like, holy shit, I am not doing this with you guys today. I have too much other things to do. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Absolutely not. MJF Ospreay? I'm here for it. MJF facial reaction was fucking fantastic. He looked so legitimately annoyed. He was doing his absolute best to play it cool. And he was failing miserably. He could have killed him with his eyes. He would have. It was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's the real story. That's the gist of it. Where I was like, okay, Ospreay and his flippant attitude is bringing out the best side of Swerve, and it might bring out the best side of MJF.
I'm so ready. Please and thank you.
We got another super chat donation from the one, the only, Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries. We appreciate you.
That's fucking bullshit.
Chuck Berry saying, also, rest in peace, Sika, on thoughts and prayers to Roman and the family. Yes, Sika of the Wild Samoans. We got that news broke to us when we were live for Rated Raw review on Tuesday. So very tragic loss. We'll talk more about that on the flagship. But definitely, like, the Wild Samoans was one of like the first tag teams I remember with like Lou Albano. And I used to see all like the 80s movies that they were like a part of and stuff like that. So very sad. And only 79.
Jesus. Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Thoughts to the family.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
we had a lot of them. Big Man Dog said, I had a sigh of relief when I realized they're not actually wrestling at Wembley.
Y'all seem rather confident in that. I'm optimistic. We'll see.
I'm confident in that because it really felt like okay, like when Ospreay came out, I was like, oh, okay, they're really building towards Ospreay and MJF. Okay, cool.
All right, we'll see. Enjoy that shit match.
I will say, a power driver finisher up until the line where he says, I've been a part of the best moments and best matches in AEW history. I would say, yeah, this was on the way to being one of Garcia's better promos. He said, I also like the fact MJF is back and he doesn't go directly to the world title reign. And they made a point of it by having Ospreay acknowledge Daniel. I don't agree with that part. I like in the fact that MJF is back and he doesn't go directly to the world title reign, but he's like not really even like saying anything about the world title. Like, you held the world title for the longest reign. You keep bringing up that you're the longest and greatest world champion, but you haven't really shown any desire to go back after the world championship. And you haven't explained, maybe you just need a flippant line to be like, I don't need the world title anymore. I'm still the top guy. And I'd be fine with this, but you haven't said anything like that.
Yes. I get the meta reason that he's not going for the world title. That doesn't mean don't need to explain in kayfabe. We need a reason why MJF of all fucking people is not going for the fucking world belt. So the first thing he should do on this comeback list, unless you say he doesn't need it, doesn't want it, then he has to fucking say that.
Yeah. Frantic World says, yeah, MJF is definitely turning heel. He needs to. Yes. Like, you can't have 3 top baby faces. Like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you already have one that's leaning tweener in Strickland, so you can't. You're both of the spots of top babyface that's kind of a tweener and leaning towards his old heel character in Strickland, and then the white meat babyface that is Will Ospreay. Those spots are full, so MJF, you need to turn heel to retain your top spot here.
It's so fucking weird. It's like, out of these 3, who should turn heel? Ric Flair. Triple H. Fucking yes. This is not that complicated. Why are we doing this?
And those are the guys he's already compared to already. Flair and Triple H.
Yes, turn heel, nigga. That's what you do. Please.
One Mike Nation saying MJF gonna help Garcia win
next
week.
Let's go. That's not bad. I'm here for that.
I wouldn't mind. But if Garcia's gonna win, shouldn't they have done the matchup here in Buffalo?
Ooh, no, because then you're going to overshadow Forbidden Door. We already did. Fuck it. Do it again.
That 15 minutes not talking about Forbidden Door. That's the part that really pissed me off about this whole segment. We got a show on Sunday. Why are we building up All In and next week's Dynamite and Collision in Memphis got the same amount of time in this segment at Forbidden Door?
Maybe he's over it.
Big man dog saying Ospreay is low-key acting like Hogan with how he hot dogs into everyone's business all the time. I love it. He says, but I like it.
It is wild, ain't it? If you put Hogan in this, you go, this motherfucker. There he goes. As per usual, shows up, does his posing, passes down the shoulder. This is the guy right here. This is the guy right here, brother. Why are you out here if that's the guy? What the fuck you doing out here?
Oh, man. We got Power Driver Finisher. He says, I don't agree with doing this with Daniel. Also, I feel it's one of those things where things have changed and now he's not first in line. About MJF.
As far as Garcia, no, I don't. I feel like he's missing something. I don't want to say what that is because MJF got in trouble for saying it. And I don't want to get in trouble for saying it. You can see he's not... Yeah, next MJF, he's yeah.
But no, I don't agree with this either, Tyro. He says just make it a triple threat at Wembley. This is the Jimmy Macram meme of yes, we're gonna put Rock, Austin, and X-Pac in the triple threat at our WrestleMania.
I'm glad you said. I was thinking, what? These three niggas are not equal. We're not together. You fucking serious? Nah. I bet I can already see fucking. Frantic World.
It's not.
It's like a Survivor Series. Is Rock Austin in Triple? No, that nigga's not Triple H. He's not the number 3 guy. Would you stop it?
No, you know who they're going to compare this to. They're going to compare it to Benoit, Michaels, and Triple H.
Yeah. No. I don't care if Garcia murders his kid right now. He's not Chris Benoit.
Jesus Christ!
Not. No.
That's the second time you've said kids murder.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I know you all and Jordan Grace like to pretend like Chris Benoit wasn't that guy. But Chris Benoit is that guy. I'm sorry. I don't care how many people he murders. He just is. He's not the same planet. Garcia's not the same planet. Knock it all the way off. No disrespect. Bless the dead. Just saying.
We go backstage to Swerve Strickland, who was watching all of this with Prince Nana. Strickland told Will Ospreay that he was putting the cart before the horse and offering a world title shot before he even wins the title. I was like, yo, facts, facts. Strickland said that Ospreay had a focus issue and needed to fix it before their tag match tonight, where he has to hold up his end of the bargain against Gates of Agony or else. I've been really enjoying Swerve's on the mic and as a character throughout the build up to this matchup. And I like this little follow-up where there was actual build to the pay-per-view. Thank you, AEW. Only took you 15 minutes. Thank you.
Swerve's really great as a character. Really great. Like that's his bread and butter. He ain't good enough to sell me on fucking Gates of Agony. I watched fucking Dynamite. You know, convince me that they're right. Knock it all the way fucking off. When's the last time they won a match with Dynamite? Have they ever won a match with Dynamite? Come on, man. You're not fooling me. You're not fooling me, good buddy. Knock it off.
He said, knock that shit off, please, dog. Next up, we had our opening matchup, which was a AEW versus New Japan special here, as two of the top factions from each promotion went at it. The Blackpool Combat Clubs, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta versus Los Ingobernables de Japón, Shingo Takagi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Titan. This match started off really, really well. I was really enjoying this one. You had Bryan Danielson on commentary, which is always an improvement. Whenever they have a guest at the commentary team cuts all their shit out and allows that person to talk more than them, which I appreciate and always is a better commentary team. Excalibur explained their history of Los Ingobernables de Japón and how they formed because of all their connection to Mexican wrestling. Tetsuya Naito forming the Japanese offshoot of the original CMLL group headed by Arush Castagnoli and Takagi started off the matchup, and this felt like it was for me because I was requesting Shingo versus Claudio early on in the build to Forbidden Door. I love Danielson really talking up Shingo throughout this matchup, how he's held the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, which is the title that Moxley currently holds. Takagi won out that opening exchange with Claudio before Yuta and Takahashi tagged in. A lot of energy, a lot of fast-paced action between those two, with Hiromu outpacing Yuta. Then it led to Teton coming in, hitting a head first tope onto Yuta, which looked really good. Came off the top rope for a near fall on Yuta. Yuta scored with an enziguri and then tagged in Castagnoli. And Claudio's always great when he goes up against these luchadors. He always sells for them good, but always his offense is just ridiculous. He catches Teton in midair with the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker before BCC starts running wild. Moxley sends Takahashi into the barricade. Teton fought off Castagnoli. He got cut him off by cut off Moxley as well, and then he tagged in Takagi, who started running wild, hit a sick-looking brainbuster on Yuta. He started clotheslining both Moxley and Claudio. He had a nice little double team move on the both of them. Yuta was then tagged in as Hiromu was tagged in. He got the advantage with the Dynamite plunger. Takahashi hits the Hiromu-chan bomber before looking like he was going for time bomb 2. When out of nowhere, Jon Moxley just says, fuck all this shit. Grabs a steel chair and hits Hiromu in the back with it to cause a disqualification. This leads to a pure 6 brawl between both trios. As everything's going on, and it looks like BCC has the advantage, then we get Tetsuya Naito coming down to the ring, and this dude Naito is ridiculous. He gets his whole entrance garments on. He has to undress lackadaisically during his entrance as Moxley's waiting in the ring, and Moxley's so annoyed that he has to wait. And I love that his t-shirt said, "Oh, did you have to wait long?" Whole 3-piece suit, and then had a shirt underneath. Moxley comes to the entranceway just as Naito gets off his rip-away pants. They start brawling with one another, hyping up their IWGP World Heavyweight title match on Sunday. Meanwhile, Takagi is still brawling with Wheeler Yuta. He brings him into the ring, and he starts hitting Bryan Danielson's hammer and anvil elbows to the neck of Wheeler Yuta. I love Bryan Danielson getting upset verbally on commentary, saying, Yuta has a history of neck injuries, a history of concussion. He was like, I got to go help him. He gets off the commentary desk, gets into Shingo's face, and Shingo once again really disrespecting Bryan Danielson ahead of their Forbidden Door matchup. He left him hanging on a handshake on Rampage. This time, he assaults his little brother and Wheeler Yuta right in front of him until Danielson stares down with Shingo to hype up their Owen Hart Cup matchup coming up this Sunday. What did you think about this matchup? Which I said to you in our private chat, and I'll say it here. Really good matchup until the finish that didn't make a whole lot of sense. I understand that Hiromu was going for his finisher and Moxley coming in with the chair, but I would appreciate it if Moxley was totally pwned this entire matchup and then just said, fuck it, I'm not myself, and then hit him with the chair. If he had no offense the entire matchup and then came in with the chair, I think it would have made more sense.
There's a famous saying my aunt taught me when I was a kid, because as a kid you start lying, and she'd always say, if something doesn't make sense, it's not true. And that's led me to many good things in my life. Whenever anybody says anything that sounds like it makes no fucking sense, I say they're lying and I move on in life. However, wrestling is not quite how that works. Usually it means if something doesn't make sense, either A, somebody's an idiot, or B, I don't want to use the word politics, but we can go with that. And this finish made no fucking sense. So I'm going to suggest one of those two. Usually I would say Tony Khan's an idiot, but considering Mox is involved, we're going to go with didn't want to take a loss. Even though Wheeler Yuta is right fucking there. I'm not entirely sure why he can't take a pin. But whatever, fair enough. You guys keep telling me he's great. I keep telling you he's fine. Unless you mean on the mic, that he's great. But otherwise, he's just, he's a guy. Yeah, the match was fine. You can say good, maybe. I didn't care about anybody involved, so I couldn't tell you if it was good or not. I gotta be honest with you. It's just 6 people doing things. This was all over the fucking place. I can't believe that fucking finish. I can't get past the finish. It makes no sense. Moxley's whole gimmick is he's this badass. He sells things like he's 6'8", 400 pounds. That's how he sells. Like he can't be fucked up. And now all of a sudden, this match is too much for him. He can't handle it. He just can't. I'm not much. I can't take it. Here's a chair. What the fuck are we doing against these bums who haven't won anything on this television show? Are you fucking serious? I'm over it. At this point of the show, I was
but
like,
it just felt like a lot of the same with BCC versus guest stars, and this would have been a nice change of pace if the guest stars finally won for once, and Yuta's right there, and Shingo needed the win because he has a big match with Bryan on Sunday, and we haven't seen him win ever on Dynamite. This is our first time seeing him really wrestle on a Dynamite.
I appreciate he owes Tony Khan owes Moxley a lot. Moxley's a star, and whenever he's need bailing out because of CM Punk or any fucking else, Moxley's the guy. But how much do you owe, motherfucker? That's what the paycheck's for. It's heinous. And these niggas telling me Steve Austin. The fuck are we doing? Niggas, you never see Steve Austin work?
He does sound like he's like a giant. Like,
oh. Stone Cold moveset. What? Oh, you mean from Mania 38 or what the fuck that was? Sure, yeah. He moves like that, Steve Austin, yes. Otherwise, knock it off. Oh, sorry.
I think he really just saw like a lot of Bruiser Brody, because that's also how Bruiser Brody sold.
I can see that.
And did move. Yeah.
It's
we got another super chat donation. This time for once again, the GOAT, Will Chisholm. We appreciate you.
Weapon in hand, too. And Blackpool Combat Club, they better wear out Kenny as long as they can. Because Hangman's going to come out here.
Right.
Will says, Jimmy the type that blasts Chris Benoit, then saying, this the GOAT, them in front of wrestling fans.
Two things can be true. He's a murderer, child murderer, suicider, and he's one of the best wrestlers ever. I'm not entirely sure why this is. You want for me. You want for me. It is what it is.
Can't say you're wrong. Can't say you're wrong.
Of course not. You made that list together. I forget. You put them
yes,
on
we
the
did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anyone who was offended by it. Sorry, Jordan Grace, but I you know.
Yeah, I forget.
I like Michael Jackson's music. I don't know what he did at Neverland Ranch, but I like his music.
It is what it is.
We should note, like I said earlier, we are going to see Los Ingobernables de Japón in action once again, this time on the 0-hour pre-show for Forbidden Door, as we will have Yota Tsuji making his AEW debut alongside Hiromu Takahashi and Titan to verse the Bloods and the Crips teaming up, as we will have the Lucha Bros, Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Mero, the AAA stalwart. Both are former AAA mega champions, teaming up with the top guy in CMLL. First time ever. This is unreal to me, and it's making Dave Meltzer look like an idiot because he said, oh, Roosh can't be on this show because CMLL talent are going to be on the show. Nigga, they have CMLL talent teaming up with AAA talent. So shut up, Dave. Mystico is teaming up with the Lucha Bros to verse LIJ this Sunday at Forbidden Door. I was shocked by this announcement, but like we've been saying, it seems like that Tony has found the middle ground of being able to work with AAA and CMLL regardless of their issues in Mexico.
Yeah, well, what they want. What? Who the fuck are you? I'm not sure that's what he said, but that's what he should say. And what? It's like the Bloods and the Crips. Yeah, I don't want to work with him. Well, then you're not on the show. I'm not entirely sure what to say. You can't come on stage. You either come on stage and hang out, or don't come on stage. I mean, what do you want from me? This is it. It's only options. Sorry.
He was like, you gonna pop out and show niggas or not. Like, or you could pop in. You could pop in. But hey, I respect it. I respect it. I like the announcement. And shit, this matchup, man, it's got so many people excited. I saw on social media. How is Chris Jericho on the main card and this isn't?
Chris Jericho might sell a ticket. Sorry.
Will he?
Paying to see. No. But Mystico's definitely not. Sorry. I know you all.
Mystico will in Mexico. He sells all the tickets.
Rampage.
He's a top draw in Mexico.
Rampage. I ain't forget. I mean, 2 months ago, Rampage. That Rampage ready came up because Mystico. Then what happened? Right. I know.
He wasn't on it the next week.
He's been on it since, hasn't he? Knock it off.
Oh no, he actually hasn't. That was the last time.
Oh my God.
He went back. He went back to Mexico and was selling tickets over there. Don't deny Mexico as a draw, sir. I won't let you.
You're right. I apologize. Roman, Cody, Punk, Mystico.
Yep.
Becky, Omega.
Now you're making sense. We got Tyrone Kidd who says middle ground, quote unquote, aka Rocky Romero. Yeah, Rocky Romero is really the person who's putting this all together because he's been, you better pay him the millions. He's been a very good asset for AEW and their relations with these other promotions.
What is this doing? I'm sure David Zaslav's just watching, like, who are these people? Where's the Punk guy? Where's Bill Phil? What the fuck you call him?
One Bill Phil, yes. Frantic Girl says, I know Penta is so happy that he can work with CMLL wrestlers on Forbidden Door 3. I mean, I hope he's still happy because we got to make him happy up until, his contract expires, so he'll re-sign.
No disrespect to Penta or Ricochet or Dijak or Hook. You take your leave knowing this may not go great. That's all. I'm just saying. It may go great in the beginning. I'm just saying prepare for end up right where you are.
Fair enough.
I'm here to help.
Next up, we have the...
Was Roosh on the show?
Who?
Roosh.
Freak show? No.
Forbidden Door, rather.
No, Roosh is not scheduled for Forbidden Door. Right?
Okay. I'm going to pay attention to the chat. I'm sure we'll get a very smarmy comment from Frantic World about Roosh and Andrade this week.
Andrade won on Friday.
I know. We're going to... Frantic World, he's lining it up right now because he's so fair and biased. I'm sure he's lining up a comment right now.
We got Big Man Dogs who says Tony ranted about all these partnerships to Zaslav, who was just like, when is Phil coming back from injury?
He just keeps up with nothing. He's like, when is he coming back? It's been a while now. I might have heard that goddamn long.
You don't watch
That's
WWE,
your Jamie Hater.
You don't even know. Oh Jesus! Don't remind me. Don't remind me. We don't even got a timetable yet. Owen Hart Cup men's tournament quarterfinal matchup was up next. Switchblade Jay White with this hilarious Bang Bang Gang entrance with Juice Robinson. And they had the cup in the middle. It looked so great. It was such a great entrance as he goes one-on-one with Rey Fenix. Nice little clash of styles here early on. It looked like Penta and Alex Abrahantes had steel chairs against the Bang Bang Gang. So referee, I believe that's Rick Knox, ejected everybody from ringside so we could have a one-on-one matchup. This almost caught Jay White by surprise as he got caught with a roll-up by Phoenix, but he kicked out at 2. He laid in some shots to Phoenix midsection, but Phoenix caught him with a head scissors and a high springboard arm drag before hitting a huge dive, tope suicida, all with the head right to the chest of Switchblade Jay White, who sold it masterfully. His selling in this matchup was great. White cut Phoenix off on a springboard attempt on the apron and hit a neck breaker out of a power slam position before we went to commercial break. Phoenix caught White with a super kick and a rope running head kick before he hit this he got hops on this frog splash. And I love the sell by Switchblade, who sold the head kick like he was dead and then just puts his back on the mat as Phoenix is on the top rope in midair for the frog splash. His timing is just impeccable. Phoenix got a near fall with a rolling Hurricane Rana, but White cut him off with a DDT, hit a brainbuster for a near fall. White kicked out of a roll-up before hitting a high-angle Uranagi. He tried for the Sleeper suplex, but Phoenix was able to reverse out of it. After a series of counters, White hits the Blade Runner just so smooth. Every time he hits it, I was like, yo, he just does it out of nowhere. It's not a move you're supposed to hit out of nowhere, but he does it almost as like he's Bray Wyatt, like Bray Wyatt's inside of him, and he's doing it like that. Switchblade Jay White was just so... Excuse me. Sorry, pause. Switchblade Jay White was so good in this matchup. Phoenix was his usual greatness as well. This was a very good matchup. Post-match, the Bang Bang Gang come out to celebrate with Jay White as he has advanced in the Owen Hart Cup tournament. He will verse the winner of Double J, Jeff Jarrett, versus the wild card on next week. That matchup goes down at Beach Break in Chicago. Switchblade Jay White moving on in the Owen Hart Cup, but he also has to worry about his Unified Trios Championships, as after the matchup, Daddy's home, Christian Cage, along with the Patriarchy, come down to the ring, having made their intentions known for the Trio Championships in the past few weeks. They went to the ring, but after a stare down between Christian and Jay White, the Patriarchy backed away, but it seems like they wanted to let the Bang Bang Gang know they are coming for those Trios Championships. What did you think about the matchup here, Switchblade and Rey Fenix? And what did you think about the post-match with the Patriarchy?
Great match. Odds were always with these two. Jay White is splendid. He does all the little things right. I don't want to use a Bret Hart comparison because that's wild. Bret Hart would start calling him Jay White in every interview and hate his guts the rest of his life. But just the small things matter. Everything matters. These things matter. And I think Jay White does that better than most. And Rey Fenix is fantastic looking. Everything he does. This is a great fit, as you would imagine it would be. So as Christian coming out, I like Christian coming out because I like a Christian, first of all, Christian Jay White on the mic sounds fantastic. Does that mean the Bang Bang Gang are faces, though? That part concerns me. Not so much Jay White or Juice, but the ass kids as baby faces. Come on,
I think that this is leading towards a three-way with House of Black being the baby faces in this scenario.
Jesus, they're also miscast, but
I mean, yes, but it seems like if you've been watching Collision, which not too many people do, the House of Black have been leaning more towards baby faces since Double or Nothing.
All right, they've been feuding what's the faces. Christian them. I'm not mad at that. This is a fun feud, regardless. It's interesting at the very least.
Yeah. And plus, it's a great way to get some big stars on to. It seems like this is heading toward. I'm hoping this is heading towards All In. That this is the long-term thing to do at All In, where you could do maybe the trios, like you could do Bang Bang Gang versus House of Black, since they've already earned the opportunity at the titles when Buddy is done with his honeymoon. You could do that in July, and
Ripley,
and then that
a honeymoon would never be over. Never coming back.
Oh man, he's like my honeymoon would never be. Annika saying, honest question, is this Owen Hart Cup shorter than the last two? No, it's the same length. Owen Hart Cup is like a month at best.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's clearly not as good as last year's. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I think still I think the first two matches in the men's tournament has been great, in my opinion, with Ak and Claudio. And then this one. And then it's building to something in the end for the winner. So I have to wait and see as far as judging it against last year's tournament.
Fair enough.
We got Steven Chambers in the chat who says Jay White winning the Owen Hart Cup, Owen Hart tournament. Time to push Jay. I mean, Jay's had a nice. He's had a nice run in AEW when you look at it overall. I just want him in more of a prominent top position more often than not.
Tony Khan does not like Jay White. Full stop. I stick by that opinion. I've seen nothing to contradict it. This nigga lost to a one-legged in the ambulance ass MJF. Then he was off TV. Now he's a trios guy.
He wasn't off TV. He wasn't off TV.
I'm not going to forget that he was fucking. He debuted by attacking Ricky Starks, ran with the beginning of the show. No interest music, no nothing. I forget he does not like Jay White. You guys see what I see. Let it go. He does not fuck with Jay White.
He's lost. All he's lost to is MJF. I think MJF is his only pinfall loss.
If we do guys who are, I already have my list of people who are great at everything. There's only like 8 of those guys in the history of wrestling. We do got a list of guys who are good at everything. Jay White's on that list. He treats him like he's some fucking guy. Sorry. Nope.
Hey, I agree Jay White should be a top star, but I can't say, like, I saw somebody being like, Ricochet's going to get Jay White. I was like, I think Ricochet would prefer to be Jay White when you really think about it.
Would Ricochet prefer to be Jay White? Over like where he's now? Where he was?
Yeah.
Brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would hope so.
He's a double champion. He's lost once. He's main evented a pay-per-view. He's like...
No, but now he's not a double champion. Ring on the belt.
Yes, he is.
Ring on the belt.
It's still a title. What are you doing?
Sorry. Fucking... I'm sorry. No disrespect.
No, I'm not doing this.
Okay.
I'm not doing this.
Nigga, Samoa Joe gave one up. Fuck that. Those belts don't count. I'm sorry.
He's like, I gotta go get a real belt. It says best part of the post match is BBL Shayna.
That shit's wild. That t-shirt is
that shirt is egregious. That shirt is egregious.
Who the fuck's buying
that? We got Power Driver Finisher says, I know he's in trios, but he's given a reason to be on TV. Yes. That's what.
What does Sasha Banks say on Austin's fucking podcast? That when she first got here, she's happy just to be here. But now I'm expecting some shit. I think Jay White's been in that position for a long fucking time. I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I'm fucking Jay White. What the fuck are you talking about? I would hope the fuck I'm here. What are you talking about? Come on, man. Oh, right. I forgot about Billy Gunn. I didn't mention Billy Gunn.
Oh, yeah. Right? No. That's the only time that I was really like, I was with you. I was on your side of the ledger as far as, all right, Tony Khan's disrespecting my boy now. That one match is still in my top 3 worst matches I've seen in 2024. But up next, we get the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks. Nicholas made it clear that the Acclaimed took advantage of his hot temper to win last week, but promised that the result would be different when the titles are on the line. Matthew announced that the wild card in the Owen Hart Cup tournament would be representing the Elite because they want to win the AEW World title at Wembley Stadium. So the Elite have all the gold and would have complete control of AEW. And I was just like, thank you. That's all I needed to hear. Hangman Adam Page is the wild card. The tournament looks a lot better, in my opinion. He's getting a bye because he's versus Jeff Jarrett. This is actually some quality booking, in my opinion.
This was fine. I had no real problems with this. I said I have to listen to Matt Jackson. But like on the page, it's fine. And there's going to be a fucking 90-year-old career smoking ass nigga is this? You fucking serious? Give the mic to your brother. Ugh.
We then hear from the Acclaimed. Yeah. Oh God, Jesus Christ! You couldn't just leave it at that.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
That might be over the top.
Yeah, I think so. From the Acclaimed as they make their entrance before the commercial break. And that was at the point. I know Jimmy, when he saw the Young Bucks on the screen, he was like, ugh. I was like, ugh, when I heard the Acclaimed's music hit. Max Caster brags about their win over the Young Cucks. He said it multiple times. Anthony Bowen said that there would be no excuses when they won the titles and became 2-time AEW World Tag Team Champions. But as they're about to scissor me, daddy ass, we hear from Kazuchika Okada, who says, no, 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 no. Scissor me, bitch. It's like he's Bart Simpson just saying the line. Say the line. Say the line. Nicholas gets on the mic and he challenges the Acclaimed to a trios matchup for this Sunday at Forbidden Door. Billy Gunn then gets on the mic and says that while he would love to kick their asses at the pay-per-view, he says to deal with some EVPs, executive vice presidents, he had to get someone with just as much power, and he just happened to know a president. The president of New Japan Pro Wrestling and Okada's greatest rival, Hiroshi Tanahashi. He appeared on the video wall to tell Okada that he was coming to fight at the Elite at Forbidden Door and that he will go face to face with his greatest rival in history. He says that they will be introduced to the Scissor Ace when he comes to Forbidden Door, as it was made official. It will be Hiroshi Tanahashi and the Acclaim, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, versus the Elite, Kazuchika Okada, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks. I mean, this was, I think I predicted this either last week on this show or on True Hill Heat. I figured this was where we were heading. And I think that I would have liked this segment a lot more if it was the only time we had a video wall for a guest star. But then we got another one later in the night. So it was just like, all right, can y'all announce these guest appearances in any different way? Couldn't we get Tanahashi here for the show? I don't know. Or Suzuki. Or maybe Tanahashi is on tour with New Japan. That's okay. That's fine. This is Soul Tour going on. Maybe you couldn't make the trip. But you could have got Suzuki here. He's not technically with New Japan anymore. But I was fine with this otherwise. Fine spot for Tanahashi. And this one makes sense. Instead of him getting random ass world title shots like he did the last 2 years.
This was fun. I'm not excited about it. I've seen Tanahashi and Okada when they were younger. I don't need to see it again with 4 other guys involved. 3 of whom make me sick. I'm just hard pass. This is the least likable baby faces ever. Not ever. That's strong. Mercedes is still here. Like, that's wild. But the AEW has a problem with likable baby faces. There's only 2 great baby faces, baby face tropes to me. There's great white meat baby face. Your fucking Steamboats, your Willows, etc., etc., or your anti-heroes, your Austins, your fucking Swerves, your LA Knights, them. But then there's niggas who just are obnoxious. And AEW has way too many motherfuckers. The Acclaimed, Mercedes, Parato until recently. Who am I missing? I'm missing one. There's a big one. That's gonna bother me. But yeah, there's too many of them.
Blackpool Combat Club.
Thank you. That's what's missing. Moxley. These things are just obnoxious. I'm sorry. Ugh. Does not a babyface make. Thank you, sir. I'm glad you.
I do agree with Big Man Dogs. Matt Caster, even though I don't agree with his tweets, he has been getting in great shape. I noticed that during this promo. I was like, actually in great shape right now.
Yeah, good on you, sir. Taking your job seriously. You know, wrestling fans tell you no bet you care. I appreciate you doing it.
Yo, Okada couldn't even keep a straight face off of hearing Tanahashi was coming and then saying Scissor Ace. He's like, I beat this motherfucker all this. He was like, I didn't even job to this motherfucker when I was leaving the company. He beat him this year in his last singles match in the company. He's like, am I supposed to be scared of this? Okada is the best.
Did they win pay-per-view though?
It would make sense for the challengers for the future tag team title match to win that. When do you think they're going to do the title match? I'm saying Calgary.
When is that?
That's in 2 weeks. That's the same show that's going to have the Owen Hart Cup final.
What do you do for All In? Bucks and who?
They're going to drag that out until All In?
I'm just asking. You have another option? I don't have one. Not the time my fucking head.
I would hope FTR is back by then.
The Bucks FTR again?
No. I'm trying to think where like they haven't Lucha Bros.
God, maybe I can see that.
Lucha Bros have the best matches with the Bucks.
Their styles fit perfectly. We don't care about the rules. We don't care about selling. We don't care about anything. Great. Just go out there and do dumb shit.
It's always fun. It's always fun.
Let's see the machine guns.
Oh yeah. That's still. I keep forgetting that they're still out there. So yeah, I would think that would be the option. Maybe that's why they're holding off on them. They're like, let's hold off until the summer and bring you in, and you'll get the big matchup with the Bucks at Wembley. That makes sense.
It's not bad. Good job, One Mic Nation.
Yeah, good shout, One Mic. We got in the chat as well another super chat donation from our good brother Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. Once again, you're helping us out. We appreciate you.
You don't know shit.
Yes, he does. Will says, Mercedes feels like she wants to be heel, but Tony, like, the fans like you, so you babyface.
But do they, though?
Yeah.
You cheer for Willow over her. And yeah, they're going to cheer
You
for her.
put her against Thunder Rosa, they'll probably cheer Thunder Rosa over her.
Yeah, and she can get booed if she wants. She's not very likable. No offense.
Don't put her against Timeless Tony Storm, because they'll pick Timeless Tony Storm over her as well.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Turn the heel, Tony. What are we waiting on? I'm not entirely sure.
Don't fuck around too long with this shit. But yeah, good shot with the Motor City Machine Guns again. One Mic Nation. We also got just another Kai who says that crowd absolutely did not get the president reference and thought he was talking about Vince. I'm done. They went so quiet. I laughed my butt off. They did not get the. I knew exactly where he was going on the setup, not even on the president.
Really?
I knew where he was going. Yeah, I was like, it's Tanahashi. Right? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, this crowd is. Yeah, I always hear how smart AEW crowds are. Yeah, they frequently miss quite a few references. I'm not entirely sure what people are talking about. Yeah. They're not smart losers. Is what you're looking for. No offense, you guys are great.
So the one other thing besides a house party matchup that AEW seemed to be nailing as of late is Mark Briscoe, our friendly neighborhood redneck drunk head coach of the football team, and he is here with the rest of the conglomeration of Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy. Briscoe starts hyping the TNT Championship ladder match. Then he starts hyping Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. for Forbidden Door. In his own special way, he starts talking shit about Zack Sabre Jr. He was like, "You a spot of tea, boy. You a fish and chips, boy. You a Peppa Pig, baby." Then you get Kyle O'Reilly, who's facing Zack Sabre Jr. tonight. He tries to hype his own matchup in his Briscoe way. He says that he wasn't confident in it, but Briscoe was like, "No, you did fine." And he tells Sabre Jr. that O'Reilly's gonna whoop his ass tonight, and then Orange is gonna whoop his ass on Sunday. And Orange Cassidy tells Renee that was fun, and it always is. Briscoe, it just brings the energy. He has an infectious energy right now.
Briscoe's great, and I'm glad he got to talk as per usual. Kyle O'Reilly was even fun. Now, my guess is they're going to stretch this out entirely too many weeks where I get over it. But for the moment, that was really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly seems to be showing more personality standing next to Mark Briscoe. It's like I said, Mark Briscoe has that infectious energy, and it's coming off on Kyle O'Reilly right now.
He saw what it got for fucking Roddy Strong, so he's going to try to do some of this too. Good luck to you, sir.
More power to you. Next up, speaking of personality and charisma, we have Timeless Tony Storm teaming up with Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa. And the other great moment outside of MJF's reaction to Ospreay upstaging him was the dance. Oh my God. I love the dance. I love the dance so much. It's so cool. Just the signature, they were just on the same page. They killed it. I wanted the crowd to respond to it more. That was the only thing missing. This led to them, Mina, Timeless Tony, and Mariah facing Saraya, Harley Cameron and Saraya, Harley Cameron, and Anna Jay. And this was your usual can they coexist tag team matchup, but Mina in the middle made it a little bit more interesting. And I got to give my hats off. I know I've been complimenting her on the few occasions she's had matches, but Harley Cameron in this matchup did not look out of place. She was the least experienced of it, and I thought she was really well served in this matchup. Got a couple of offense here, but the story was about the conflict between Mina and Timeless Tony. And anytime Mariah was in the matchup, it was always kind of a competition on who she was going to tag out. Storm eventually got the hot tag. She came in with a running hip attack on Saraya before Shirakawa tagged herself in, which pissed off Storm. Cameron hit a nice little backstabber on Shirakawa for a near fall. We get the move train with everybody hitting big moves in the matchup before Shirakawa hits the glamorous driver on Harley Cameron to pick up the victory here. Mina for the win. Post-match, though, we get Mariah May offering both women champagne flutes, and they all dance with each other before taking a full shot of the champagne. While after that, Mariah May hugs Mina, but then Timeless Tony, when she goes to hug her, Timeless Tony moves her over to her side, which I guess pissed off Mina, who grabs the bottle of champagne, trying to get the one-up on her Forbidden Door opponent. Shirakawa goes to hit Storm, but accidentally nails Mariah May right in the face, cracks the bottle over her head. This leads to Storm seething, who's furious, while Mina is in shock and upset after hitting her friend with the bottle in the head. Referees and officials come out and separate both women before they can come to blows. But I really like this post-match angle, which sets up Mariah May for what feels like an easier choice than it was last week for who she's going to choose between Mina and Timeless Tony come Sunday. What did you think about the matchup and the post-match?
Match was fine. You mentioned Harley Cameron. I remember looking at her thinking she might be the best wrestler on her team, at least in this match. I thought she looked. Listen, obviously all the talent's on the other side, obviously, but she felt like she belonged there. It's a good way to put it. She just felt kind of natural. She felt like a wrestler to me. I was really pleased. The dance was fantastic, by the way, earlier on. And the finish, post-match rather, sure. I kind of was looking forward to the choice of Mariah May. Now I'm looking less forward to it. I kind of think I know where it's going.
That's fair. Yeah. I could see that being a complaint that it's made. Like I said, it made the choice that she has to make on Sunday kind of a foregone conclusion now because Nina hit her over the head with a freaking bottle.
Just wild. By the way, that did not look great. It was very awkward. But it was fine.
It was funny on My Nation. Mariah coming out with Tony and doing the whole Tony pose before running back down the tunnel to make her entrance with Mina. That was great. That was great stuff.
Here's a random complaint, by the way. Since I haven't shown no commentary all day. This is more of a Tony thing, though. Everybody does it. Jesus. Yes, it is what it is. Though Mercedes still get a match. I'm telling you. Saying this is great when something's funny or fucking charming or something, it just takes me out of it. I'm reminded I'm watching a show instead of watching people. You should not feel like you're watching a show. And Shivani does it all the fucking time. Oh, this is great. Look, oh, this is so funny. Sir, shut the fuck up. Just laugh or move on. Ugh.
You're like, can you please pipe down? You're distracting me from what I'm actually trying to get invested in.
Right. Ugh. Imagine watching a movie and motherfucker, oh, what a great action scene. Shut up. Ugh. Trying to see if Batman's going to make it. You're babbling on about the cinematography. Shut up. Jesus.
Big Man Dog saying, leave it to Tony to make sure a match with an event slightly ambiguous outcome to be turned into a foregone conclusion.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Fucking Big Man Dog. That's even better. Fucking, it's like you're hanging out with a friend who says we're having so much fun. It's like,
Now I'm not. But like I said before, I feel like this build to Mina and Tony, it's the longest, and it's one of the better builds to Forbidden Door outside of the main event with Swerve and Ospreay. I think this is actually a close second to me. I really like what they've done with this story, especially because it's a part of the wider, bigger story of Mariah and Timeless Tony.
Yeah, I like it as a set piece, so to speak, like the Jey Uso of the Bloodline angle, or the Sammy of the Bloodline angle.
Facts.
Part of the bigger narrative.
Yeah, so we're in agreement there. I'm glad.
Indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. We also I think did I get this one? Yeah, I think I got that one. Okay, cool. I was
Which
checking
one was that?
the super chat dude.
Super chat. I want to say something.
Someone, yeah.
Okay, somebody said something earlier. I think he said, I forgot who he was talking about, but he was like, somebody was second to Gunther and Dragon as far as a wrestler goes. It was happened a while ago. I forgot to mention it because it bothers me. Okay, if Gunther and Dragon are 1, then the next guy is 3, not 2. I say this every fucking time. If 2 people finish ahead of you, the next guy is 3rd. He is 3rd. He is not second. Yes, he is not second. He is 3rd. Sorry. Jesus.
And there's missing a big Will Ospreay in there.
Oh, right. You don't fuck with Ospreay like that.
There's 3 top wrestlers right now, in my opinion.
I hear you, sir. They're tied. I get that, but they're tied. There's 2 people tied for first. The next guy is 3rd. This is not that hard.
I love how annoyed you are.
Oh, it's infuriating.
He's like, I got you.
He's
like, I heard you the first time.
I saw ESPN do it the other day. I almost lost my shit. It was like 3 people tied for fucking first, and they did the next guy second. He's not second. What? He's second with 3 people ahead of him? How does that work?
I love it. We got Chuck Berries with a super chat donation. Thank you so much once again, Chuck Berries, as always, showing your support, showing your love to the True Hill Heat.
Why you so crazy? Take it easy. Take it easy.
Them niggas is fucking throwing bottles in the club. Him and Will. Jesus. All right.
They like competing. They're like, I got all the bottles. Like, it's like that episode of Atlanta from season 1 with the football player with the invisible car. Chuck Berry's saying, I guess AEW saw what I said about Mercedes last week because now she's gonna be on Collision this Saturday. And we're gonna see if she helps the rating for Collision, because Collision got some. I don't know. Does he have a competition on Saturday? I don't think so. No, I'm thinking next week's Collision. Because that's why MJF's on next week's Collision, because that's the one going head to head with Money in the Bank.
Everything is competition to Collision. Jesus. What's she doing on Saturday? She wrestling?
No. She's well, listen. I love the way you said it. Like she's talking. Like she's talking.
And what is the? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
We got a video package hyping up Mercedes Moné's matchup against Stephanie Vaquer for Forbidden Door. We even got footage of Moné's surprise appearance in Arena Mexico last Friday. Moné said that she wasn't afraid to kick the Forbidden Door down and get the title that was meant for her. Vaquer was offended by Moné's arrogance. And I was like, oh, Vaquer spitting out here. All right. It said that she would become the double champion, the first ever NJPW Strong and TBS champion in history at Forbidden Door. And then we cut to Mercedes Moné, who was in the backstage area. She says that she went to Mexico to see Vaquer defend her title, but Vaquer was nowhere to be found tonight here in Buffalo. She heard that Stephanie had a match on Collision against Lady Frost and that the TBS champion would make her way over to TNT and she would see that matchup firsthand. So nice little plug for Collision this Saturday, and nice hype up. And I said this rivalry or build up for this matchup hasn't been much outside of video packages, Mercedes wrestling, and pre-tapes. And I think that's for the better.
Oh, fucking certainly. We gave her past the first week because like, she's home. Yeah, give her a microphone. Then she had another one. It was like, oh, she's really not great. And then there's a couple more. Then they finally learned their fucking lesson. Just keep her editable. She's so talented in the ring. I don't want to use another Chris Benoit comparison, but it's as close as I can come to. Keep her in the ring. That's all. Just keep her in the ring.
She's like Eddie Guerrero before he came to WWE. Before he got to, like 97, like 97, 98 Eddie, where we really saw the potential for him when he was a heel because that was his natural role. Then he comes to WWE and he learned how to develop that heel character into being a charismatic, likable babyface at the same time. He had that charm to him that Mercedes hasn't really got yet. I think that she needs a run as a heel in AEW before people can find some charm in her heel act, because that's what happened in WWE. She was a heel, and then she was so good in the ring that she became she became charismatic and likable as the boss character.
I feel like I'm ganging up on Mercedes. It's just me. I feel very Swerve-like. I don't want to keep shitting on Mercedes. I like Mercedes.
You're very Swerve-like.
But I never thought she was likable. I liked her because she's not likable. And this new character of hers feels like an even more amped up version of the boss character, which was already a caricature. This is like a caricature of a caricature. She's not playing a real person. She's playing a gimmick. This was very early 90s to me. I'm not mad at it. It works as a heel, but as a likable babyface, you're not being likable. Sorry. You just give me catchphrases. It's about how you're better than everybody else. Yeah. You are, but like, okay.
We got Big Man Dog saying, what will be the excuse for why the Dynamite ratings are underwhelming this week? They don't got the excuse this week because Big Bang Theory was deleted. That was the whole big reason that they said, no cause for concern. We're not going to go up for one low rating. We didn't have Big Bang Theory. It was a holiday middle of the week. It was this and that and the third. We're fine. It's fine over here. Then you have some cause for concern if you're below 600 again. If you're below 600 again, and NXT, who dropped by 100,000 viewers this week, beats you again? Oh, no. Now you got cause for concern.
That is it's very true. All valid points. But that is wild. Like, I know people don't hear it when they say it, but it is wild. There's nothing wrong with the ratings. Our ratings always suck. It's just that this time we didn't have the Big Bang Theory to make them look like they don't suck. That is a wild thing to say as an excuse. It's true, but it is wild. See that? The NBA draft. Yes, the least giving a fuck about draft in the history of basketball.
I was in disbelief when I found out on Tuesday that it's 2 nights of this NBA draft. There was no reason to make the NBA draft 2 nights, let alone on a year where no one cared about anyone in the top in the first round of the draft, because Bronny James was the person who got the most interest and most intrigue, and he wasn't even picked on the first night.
Yeah, he was never going to be. I was fucking yelling at people. They would tell me all types of shit. I won't tell you what Cash put money out on. That's his business. But I was like, sorry.
Oh, no. He put money that he was going to get picked in the first round. Tell me he didn't do that.
Higher than that.
Tell me he didn't do that.
Higher than that.
Wait, he said top 10?
Higher than that.
What? No. Tell me he ain't put top 5. No.
Higher than that.
No, top 3. Top 3. What? No.
some fucking guy put like 30 grand on Bronny being the number one pick. He was like, I'm following the Sharks. Let's see what the Sharks do. I'm like, sorry. If he makes it in the first round, it's a small miracle. He's not getting drafted anywhere near number one, sir. And then he fucking, no shit. 50 something. 55 maybe. He'll be drafted. First round? Number one? Oh, I'm trying to help you, sir. It's like, how much I want that hits? I was like, if you put $5 down, you'll win $1,500. But you can just bet the lotto. It's a much higher percentage. What the fuck? Oh,
God. This dude didn't even play a full college season. How did you think that?
Oh, it's LeBron's kid. So what? Isn't that bad franchise because it's LeBron's kid? Oh, no.
Didn't he ever hear about Michael Jordan's kids was playing basketball?
Some people don't understand. Michael Jordan's kid, LeBron James' kid, they're only half LeBron James. He's only half Michael Jordan. I'm sorry. That's how genetics work. Sorry.
Wow, I need to read a super chat donation after that. Thank you so much, Will, for coming to my rescue here. Will says, I'm a Mercedes fan, but fans, please stop talking like she's bullying Roman. Like $3 million a segment. Nah.
They don't want to hear it, sir. I tried to warn them. We got into shouting contests. I tried to warn them. I'm here to help. I'm not here to hurt. It's my friend. And you guys are my friends. I want to help you. I'm trying to wake you up. She's not Becky. She's not Rhea. She's probably not even Charlotte or Bianca. She might not be Tony Storm at this point. I'm trying to help. You guys are lost in the sauce. I'm telling you. It's over. It's fine. She's a hand. What did Ben Wild do for the ratings? Nothing. Did you want to have him around? Yes, because he's really fucking good. But don't expect to get nothing out of it outside of a good match. That's all.
That's fair. Thank you so much for the super chat donation, Will. And once again, thank you again, Will Chisholm, with another super chat donation. Killing the game as always.
Let's fucking go.
Will says, did y'all ever see the Atlanta Goofy episode? It is funny how AEW fans blame Kendrick Lamar, Black Panther, and Juneteenth. So we blaming niggas now.
Absolutely. They ruined our AEW rating.
No, we haven't got up to the Goofy episode yet, but I would say it's the greatest mockumentary of all time.
Oh, I'm down.
Yes.
I'm down.
Yes.
Yeah, once I saw the rating, which was 502,000, yeah, and they dropped 200,000 people, close to it. Yeah. Even I was like, okay, this is something. Something happened. A whole bunch of things happened. Yeah. But like it'll be up this week. 670.
Yeah, I think it'll be back to like 670, 680. If it gets up to 700, then it's like, God damn, Big Bang Theory is that much of a draw for you? If it gets back up to 700, then I'm just like, damn, niggas really did not watch y'all this. Oh man. We got thank you for the super chat donations. Well, we always appreciate that. We got Corey Michaels who says, I don't follow basketball whatsoever, but this recap is hilarious. Oh my God. I can't believe Marcus Cash, who I thought the dumbest thing he has ever said or done was saying, I wish it would have been Bronson Reed and not Hangman Adam Page to win the casino ladder match back in 2021. But that tops it. That tops it for me.
You know what's funny? You can't bet on the draft if you're in New York. I'm in New Jersey. So he had to send it to me to put his money in. So he goes, put $5 on Bronny number one. And I didn't do it. I don't want to waste niggas' money. I was like, number one, like overall, like
or number one in the second round.
Holy shit. All right.
Man, that was great. That was great. I needed that laugh. Next up, we get we had to mention coming off that women's matchup. It was announced earlier today that Mariah May will be in action at Forbidden Door, but on the 0 hour pre-show, and she will have our Owen Hart women's tournament quarterfinal matchup against Saraya. So she's gonna get her win back, and it's gonna be on pay-per-view, technically. So thumbs up for that.
Technically. Against Saraya. You see how good Mariah May is. You get a good match out of Saraya, we'll fucking see.
Hey, she had a decent one. The one when they versed the first time.
That's true.
Was decent enough. Yeah. Next up, we get our favorite, the Learning Tree. They're out here for their own town hall meeting. Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith. After we hear from first Big Bill, who says that Keith's arm was in a sling due to the attack from Joe, Shibata, and Hook on Collision. And Bill says that Keith is now out of Forbidden Door, and that Joe, Shibata, and Hook took advantage of that by challenging them to a trios match at Forbidden Door. But he says that won't stop them because they have the sensei of the sickos, Chris Jericho. And then someone in the crowd, I guess, laughed, or he was like, see, hey, this guy gets it. Yo, I was like, Big Bill's awesome. Big Bill's awesome. Like, this guy gets it. Jericho then takes the mic, and he says, after saying that, he was here for the young guys to enter the Jericho vortex. He said that it wasn't fair that they hurt Brian Keith. And Jericho said that they found another partner, though. Someone who was one of the toughest men he ever met in Japan. And he has been in Japan over 60 times. And I don't know if you know this, but that's a lot of times. They got a video from that partner, but they haven't watched it quite yet because they want to watch it with all of you. So he introduced his partner, a fellow Wrestling Observer newsletter Hall of Famer, none other than Minoru Suzuki. He appeared on the screen, but he declined the offer to team with Chris Jericho. Instead, he said, the Learning Tree, what is that? I want nothing to do with anything like that. I saw someone earlier today who said, nobody, ... AEW Twitter every Wednesday, and then put this picture. Learning Tree, what is that? Shit. I want nothing to do with anything. He then challenges Jericho to a one-on-one match for the FTW Championship, to Jericho's surprise. After the video ends, though, Jericho doesn't get a response. Instead, Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hook walk out and basically get in their face. He says that this is awkward. He says that the Learning Tree didn't have enough branches, it seems. And Joe says that him, Shibata, and Hook have been listening to all his life lessons. And Shibata said the perfect thing that describes it. And he gets the voice translator, and he says, well, this guy sucks. Jericho then paintbrushes Joe, slapping him across the face, leading to a brawl between the two, with the baby faces coming up on the right end of this, standing tall in the ring, as Big Bill complains that Shibata hit him with a phone. This was fun. This is a fun Jericho segment. Definitely better than the segment with Private Party. I think that was last week or 2 weeks ago. This was the fun Jericho Learning Tree bit. Like I said, I think Big Bill is doing really well at this, and I liked Jericho's promo, and I like the response from Suzuki, because I predicted that when Brian Keith got hurt on Saturday on Collision Discourse this week. I was like, it's probably going to be Minoru Suzuki in his role. And so I like that they went against what I predicted and gave me something a little bit more unpredictable with Suzuki challenging Jericho. But I'm not sure. Are we setting up 2 matches for Jericho at Forbidden Door? Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Just do the Suzuki Jericho matchup, because that's different. I like that. What do you think?
With the gimmick, if the whole gimmick is fucking Jericho being on TV too much, 2 matches.
It would.
I'm not mad at the commitment to the gimmick. I won't be watching, so feel free. Have 5 matches. I don't give a fuck. This is fun. Jericho, I know a lot of people are not in on the Learning Tree. It appears like we've lost all the momentum. We haven't picked up any new followers to the Learning Tree, but I still like it. So Fuck what y'all talking about. As for Suzuki, that part was fun. I'm here for Hook and Company against Lauren Trey, at least for a little while. For a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you there. We got Big Van Dogs that says, shout out to Ricky Starks for refusing to job out Big Bill. That is true. That was the report from Fightful Select that Ricky Starks turned down the feud with Big Bill. That we said that after they lost the tag team titles, that was what it was probably going to lead to, was Ricky turning babyface and feuding with Big Bill. But apparently Ricky turned that down, wanted more of an amicable split because he didn't think it would do much for Big Bill to lose to him in the feud. And I agree with that.
I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but what stops Ricky from beating him and then Big Bill ends up right here anyway?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that too. Yeah, you don't have that hindsight, but you could have had him feud with him, have a match at least Dynasties per se, where Ricky wins. But it all depends on what you do with Ricky after that. I'm fine with Jericho. I'm fine with Big Bill going into this role even after that feud. But what did you do? What would you have done with Ricky after that?
That's very true. Ricky might not be built for this. He's obviously very charismatic. He's very talented everywhere. Great guy, but doesn't have enough killer in him, quite frankly. I think Kevin Nash would fucking argue about this. You think The Rock would argue about this? Let's go with somebody who's typically nicer. Wait, I go over? What? So, great. Let's do that. Let's do that then.
It's like, sure, that works for me.
Good. I got enough friends.
We got Power Drive Finisher that says he ain't thick-skinned.
I don't know that. He seems like he might be too nice for this. He's a really nice guy. Looking out for Big Bill for what? This is wrestling. Look out for yourself, nigga.
It's like, fuck all that. What we doing?
Not here to make friends. I'm to make money.
We got Annika who says, stop letting Jericho ruin good things in AEW. Leave my Joe Hook Shibata group alone. They got together because of the learning tree. What are we talking about?
Come to the dark side, Annika. You know you want to. I see you fighting it. Stop fighting it. Oh my God, that's what a great face that is. I know a lot of people mad about Chad Gable coming back. He came back from murder. He won his fucking match. Money in the bank. Let's go. And more Alpha Academy. Let's go. And we get the creeds. Let's go.
Chad Gable, the white 50 Cent. He got shot 9 times and he came back.
Said that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. Need the temple. Let's
go. He's like, the story of my demise was greatly exaggerated.
Let's go. I'm so happy. You don't understand.
Hey, I'm here for Gable, but I'm also here for the sickos, and this match was for the sickos. Zack Sabre Jr. of New Japan Pro Wrestling going one-on-one with Kyle O'Reilly. This is to build up O'Reilly's friend Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. for Forbidden Door. We had in the front row watching this matchup Kyle O'Reilly's old friends Roderick Strong and the Undisputed Kingdom, but they are joined by NJPW Strong Champion Gabe Kidd watching, and I immediately sent this picture to Jimmy, and I was like, oh my God, Gabe looks like an absolute monster sitting next to these guys.
Like their bodyguard. Jesus.
But man, these two guys went out there and had an absolute banger. These two scrambled on the mat for position, a lot of grappling and submission back and forth. They started trading off arm bars before being separated. The two were trading holds on the floor before Sabre Jr. caught O'Reilly with a neck crank and then a bicep stomp working over the arm. Sabre caught O'Reilly with an octopus hold before, as we came back from commercial break, O'Reilly cranked at his ankle to get out of it. O'Reilly then peppered Sabre Jr. with some kicks. Sabre Jr. did this awesome sell where he gets a kick to the chest, he gets 2 kicks to the leg, and he just falls out, drops right on his ass and then on his back. I was just, at this point, I messaged Jimmy. I was like, oh my God, Sabre Jr.'s selling is exceptional. This is superb. Oh my God. Sabre caught O'Reilly with catches the kick, and he goes right to the arm. O'Reilly caught Sabre with a knee lift to the chest before the two started trading submission exchange. They started trading armbar into ankle lock, into armbar, into ankle lock. The two started trading off kicks before O'Reilly caught Sabre with a knee and then a double leg attempt. He tries to go for a choke, but then they go onto the ground where Sabre Jr. works right back to the arm after another great scramble on the mat. He does like a disarmor into a Fujiwara armbar, cranking all the way back on O'Reilly's arm until O'Reilly has to tap out. What a fantastic professional wrestling clinic. These are two of the best technical wrestlers in the world, and it was a perfect amount of time. I think it went like 11, 12 minutes, just pure grabs for you. It was perfect. Kid and Strong had a bit of an argument in the crowd at ringside. I don't know what that was about, as Cassidy was invited into the ring by Sabre Jr. They start staring down the hype of their matchup. Meanwhile, then Orange Cassidy goes to check on O'Reilly, but then Undisputed Kingdom come in and they push Orange out the way so they could check on him. Sabre Jr. and Cassidy are staring down when Shane Hayes and Robbie Eagles of Sabre Jr.'s TMDK stable come out to have his back, but that leads to Tomohiro Ishii, the Stone Pit Bull, one of Orange Cassidy's friends from Chaos. He comes down to try to even the odds between the two factions. Meanwhile, Gabe Kidd is basically yelling at everybody, barking at them so they would listen to him. This was a chaotic post-match, but it won't take away from the great matchup between Sabre Jr. and O'Reilly. This was just brilliant professional wrestling between those two. What did you think about the match and the post-match?
Match was fantastic. Zack Sabre Jr. is splendid. I'm not sure where he would rank like best wrestlers in the world, but he's really high up. Everything he does looks really smooth. And I gotta be honest, Kyle O'Reilly, while overhyped is probably not a great word. Overloved might be even better. Overloved by you bums. He's fucking great. He's also great. Power Tower Finish is a fucking asshole. That's hilarious. I love it. Yeah, this was great. The post match is a complete fucking mess. Holy shit! Talk about a whole bunch of nothing that did nothing for anybody. What? What was that? Imagine these are all stars. They're putting these all stars. This is Roman and Austin and fucking Ric Flair and Hogan and fucking Bruno. This is still a mess, but at least I'm interested. This is just a mess. This is just a random mess of people I don't give a fuck about. Seconds to seconds. Everybody's got backup. We don't really give a fuck about the first guy. This is jarring. All we needed was Zack Sabre and Orange Cassidy, and that'd been the end of it. Instead, there's a whole bunch of shit. I assume promoting Rampage or fucking Collision or whatever the fuck.
What they could have done is just a quick stare down and then go to commercial break. And then right before the main event, you get Sabre Jr. with an interview with Renee. Cassidy comes in. TMDK come in after that. And then Ishii comes in after that. Instead of doing it all in the post-match where we have that going on, also Gabe Kidd yelling at everybody, which is awesome. It fits Gabe Kidd's character. And then Undisputed Kingdom over here checking on O'Reilly, keeping that wheel going. There was just too much going on.
Agreed. Way too much.
But like I said, that matchup, though, that's what I love. That's what I love. This was pure graps at its finest. We got Annika, who's upset that Gabe was only in the audience. He's gonna be on Rampage. Don't worry. He's gonna be on Rampage, baby. Even less people watch Rampage than Collision. Hey, you got Gabe Kidd on a Dynamite. I got to finally tell Jimmy, oh, that's the face of the guy I've been talking to him about for months.
He looks like a well-dressed, a better dressed fucking Eddie Kingston.
And that was his rival for months, so that makes sense.
That'd be fantastic.
Yo, watch their no rope last man stand. That's the match where Eddie got injured with the superplex onto the guardrail. Yeah. We got Power Driver Finisher said they had to make up for those 20 minutes in the beginning of the show. That's true, I guess.
What do you mean? I'm confused.
I guess the matchup made up for the.
The match, man. I think you meant the post match. Like, no, just added to it. It's equally worthless. Jesus.
And then finally, we have the main event of the show. AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland teaming up with AEW International Champion Will Ospreay to face the Gates of Agony. And finally, this Buffalo crowd. I felt like the O'Reilly Sabre Jr. matchup woke them up. And then this match they were into outside of Swerve's entrance. I think it was Will.
Wild.
After that. Yeah, it was wild. The lack of reaction.
Nice. The second time you've seen tonight.
Gates of Agony jumped Strickland and Ospreay as the bell rang. Ospreay catching Khan with an inverted monkey flip once he got to his feet under him. Ospreay almost caught Strickland with a misdirection boot, leading to Toa Leona clotheslining the both of them as we went to commercial break. After the commercial, Strickland fought off the Gates as Leona yanked Ospreay off the apron as Strickland went for the tag. The Gates hit a double spine buster, but Strickland was able to evade a shotgun drop kick, sending Khan into Leona. He got the hot tag to Ospreay, who started running wild. He hits the double handspring kick before hitting a standing shooting star press. We saw some double team moves from Ospreay and Strickland in this one, but it was at one point where Strickland was booted off the apron by Ospreay. This led to Strickland coming in with a pump boot, trying to aim for Ospreay, but Ospreay moves out the way, so he hits one of the Gates of Agony before Leona takes out both men. Swerve hits this gnarly looking swerve stomp off the apron to Leona on the floor. Ospreay hesitates on the Tiger Driver. I think that was at that point that we got the incidental kick and then the boot back in the matchup. Leona hit a nice little pounce on Leona. Ospreay then tried to go for a poison Rana on Leona, and it needs Strickland for his help with the pump boot to Leona, so he gets the poison Rana. Strickland then catches Khan with the arm breaker as Ospreay takes off his arm pad, hits the hidden blade for the 1-2-3 on Leona to give the main event at Forbidden Door the victory here. Post-match, though, that is where the real stuff happened here. We get a little trash talk between both men as Strickland goes to walk away from Ospreay. Ospreay once again takes the AEW World Championship out of Strickland's hands. And unlike Ospreay in the matchup as he hesitated to hit the Storm Driver, Strickland did not hesitate. He kicks Ospreay right in the knee. That is a perfect looking house call right to the jaw of Ospreay, and Swerve Strickland stands tall as we end the show. And once again, the post-match here, man, they've been killing it with their post-match, with their promos. This is the best built main event of a Forbidden Door yet. These guys have been killing it, and this one was another one. And I love the story once again, being that Ospreay keeps hesitating on his kill shot of the Storm Driver, while Strickland will not hesitate, and he did not hesitate in the post-match. And he told Will, stop fucking with me, stop disrespecting me, or I will do this to you. And he did it. Love this. What did you think?
This is a great touch for his character, Swerve's character. I never like babyfaces who don't back up. In fact, Ospreay did this last week. Babyface characters who don't back up their threats. He said, don't bring up my family, and Swerve did it. And fucking Ospreay didn't do shit to begin the space. Swerve said, don't fucking touch my shit. Ospreay touched his shit, and he kicks that cock right in the fucking face. I never got so high. I was like, holy shit, that was fantastic. The match was good until the end, where niggas are kicking out of fucking Ozcutters. Why the Gates Agony kicking out of fucking Ozcutters? What are we doing? Like, why? Does he not care about whatever? Like, he's getting demoted. He gets demoted. He's behind Gunther. I had you guys tied. Now you're behind Gunther. You're behind him. You don't protect your shit, so you're out. Yeah, this was really good. I really like Ospreay and Swerve. They have really good chemistry together. Their characters kind of fit perfectly. Ospreay is the white meat babyface. Swerve is kind of the anti-hitter.
Well, let me tell you something, bro. When the power of the Ospreay Maniac runs through my veins, there's nothing that can stop me.
That's so fucking good. He really is the main character. I'm not against putting the belt on him. I wouldn't. I really like what Swerve's character is right now, but if they do it, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, and this ending kind of, Wrestling 101 says the guy who's on top on the go home show is probably losing at the pay-per-view. So I like this ending because it proves that Swerve is a man of his word, but it also once again makes the finish of Sunday more unpredictable, the outcome.
That's true. How long Swerve been champion? 3 months?
2 months, 2.5.
2.5 months.
Yeah.
I'm still going to say he retains. Especially at the Hangman thing. Yeah, you know what? He retains.
Yeah. Now we got Hangman as the wild card. Yeah, that's a great main event, and it's finally putting the world title on your top program, and it's been your top program for almost a year. It would be going into Wembley, almost a year of them feuding with one another because it started right after All Out last year.
What kind of match would you do?
Yeah, I kind of think that it's going to need a step too.
Yeah, the
Cage.
Second match was what?
A Texas Death Match. But you're
What was
doing
the
Blood
second
and Guts live. The second match was the Texas Death Match. Unless they're like the world title is the thing that they're adding to it, so they don't need a stipulation. I don't know.
We'll see. I don't think you can go from Texas Death Match to a regular match. That feels odd. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's not Hangman. Maybe we're fucking. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe they got somebody else in mind. Maybe it's fucking Nakazawa or fucking Brandon Cutler or something.
Please God, no. Please don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, Tony. You got me hyped right now. Dog collar match.
Ooh, do you want to try to live with that match?
I mean, the Texas Death Match. It's got to be a bloodbath in Wembley between these two.
Agreed. We'll see. Agreed. I wouldn't mind something bloody. It's got to be something bloody. Actually, not thinking about it. Yeah. Feuders, they hate each other's guts.
But they've done a great job. And this is I would say this is Swerve now. He's 3 for 3 because the Hangman feud is what got him into the main event picture. The Samoa Joe feud where he won the championship, I thought was really good and had some great television segments. And then, Christian, it was fine, but I think that this is like his third big, really great build up to a pay-per-view matchup.
Agreed. So he's 3-4. We're not counting Christian then?
Yeah.
You try to shoot them in the run?
I feel like he made a couple of shots, but he shot 45% from the field. He didn't have the best game. He didn't get up to his averages there.
Yeah, I mean,
Christian was great during the feud, but I don't think Swerve was always, taking most of the heat throughout that feud.
Yes.
Other than the final week.
Getting his ass beat. Yes. Oh, well.
It was good, though. But this is great. This has been great.
Yes.
With Ospreay.
Yes. Undoubtedly.
But that brings us to a close on another edition of AEW Dynamite. Y'all know the deal. This is the final call, last call for Super Chat donations. You guys have been awesome, especially Will, Chuck Berry's. Appreciate all your support. Anyone else who wants to give, last call for that. But also sound off in the live chat with your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP. Out of 10, what did you give the show? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle overall for the show last night. For me and Jimmy, for the June 26, 2024 Forbidden Door Go Home edition of AEW Dynamite. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs in the middle for Jimmy. Thumbs up for me. Out of 10, I'm going to give it 7.5. No, 7. 7 out of 10. What did you give it?
I was leaning 6, but Swerve kick afterwards. I'm gonna go 6.5.
That's fair. That's fair. And I agree with that being the thumbs in the middle. I was like the same. I think I did that with Collision this week. Collision, I gave a thumbs in the middle, and it was 6.5 overall. It was an off night for Collision, but I thought that the Swerve Ospreay build was great. The Mina Tony Storm was great, and it had 2 very good to great matches on the show, which is enough for a 7 out of 10, in my opinion. With Sabre Jr. and O'Reilly, as well as Phoenix and Jay White. I let all my rant out in the opening segment. The opening segment was the things that bothered me the most. And then it gave me enjoyable stuff throughout the show that I have to give it a 7 out of 10.
Opening segment? Fucking Hogan Moxley? Fucking everything that happened after that great fucking
First 30 minutes. First 30 minutes. We got some 5 out of 10s in the chat. We got thumbs up from Chris. So
9 out of 10? What? Good Lord.
Chuck Berry says 7 out of 10 for me, folks. We got Power Driver Finisher said there were some entertaining things, but a lot of things that I literally forgot about, like the Forbidden Door stuff. I don't know who's wrestling who mostly.
Seriously.
And he gives it he agrees with you. He gives it a 6.5 out of 10.
There you go. No Willow. You can't be a thumbs up.
And we got Annika who gives it a 7 out of 10 as well. Your match of the night. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go with Zack Sabre and Kyle O'Reilly.
Unanimous there. I agree with you. Zack Sabre Jr. and Kyle O'Reilly was next level compared to everything else on the show. Even though Jay White and Rey Fenix was very good, and I like BCC and LIJ until the finish. MVP for the show, Jimmy.
I'm gonna go for Ty. A lot of these codes recently. I'm gonna go with Swerve and Jay White. Stop me from turning this off. Jay White, stop me from changing the channel. So I'm going with Jay White.
I'm gonna go with Swerve. When you're a man of your word and you show more of that killer instinct that you've been talking about, you got to get my MVP. So pretty much the whole build-up has either been Ospreay or Swerve for me as MVP, or sometimes both. LVP for the show, Jimmy.
Moxley, come on, man. You're doing too much. I let the Punk thing slide because I get it. You've been carrying. I don't want to come back and just drop the belt to this nigga. Fair enough. But you've been out of pocket. You ain't been around for a long while. You've been out of pocket for a long bit, good buddy. Nah.
Unfortunately, I know it's his hometown, but Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia, I'm sorry. They tried. It was a nice freshman effort, but they basically little brothered you, bro. And you were on your way to one of your best promos ever, and then you said you've been a part of some of the greatest matches and moments in AEW history. And I was like, nigga, you're lying. You don't even believe that. You ain't even saying that like you believed it. You lied. Danny Garcia is my LVP. But this was a fun episode to review, at least. I'll give it that. We got a bunch of people in the chat. This is Chris, MVP, Tony, Mina Shirakawa, and Swerve Strickland. We got Power Driver Finisher, who says MVP, Ospreay, LVP, Gates of Agony. We got Big Man Dogs, who says Swerve, but honorable mention to Tony because her faces were hilarious. We got LVP for Annika is TK for letting MJF go on a 15-minute promo for a pay-per-view that's not this weekend.
Everything was not this weekend. He said it was August 30th. He's talking about All In. He didn't give a fuck about this weekend.
He's like, we're in my hometown. I don't even remember what date it is.
Insane.
Jimmy, thank you as always for joining me here. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media. What you got going on your channel?
At Jimmy Macram on YouTube. Click it. I have to tell you what's on it. The whole point is you go and see what's on it.
Facts. Let them know. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat, $3 a month. Best place where you can support us when we are not live here, but we got plenty of live content for Forbidden Door weekend. I will be live tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern time, with my good brother Joe Holbert of the Late Night Grand and Wrestle Purist to preview AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Door. Might have a special guest joining us as well for that on Saturday, I believe. Huh?
Is it Dijak?
Maybe. I've already reached out. I already reached out to Dijak, so we'll see. Fingers crossed. But check that out on Saturday. I believe Romeo will be doing his classic watch along of Money in the Banks from years past. I believe he's going to do that on Saturday. If not, I might come up on here and complain about who killed WCW. I might do the review of who killed WCW on Saturday. So anybody want to join me for that and join me complaining about 4 weeks of television that I wasted my time watching? Join me for that.
You better come at The Rock's head. You better come at your boy's head.
I will. I love The Rock, but you didn't bring anything to the table here, even in the production side.
Yeah, fuck, sir.
Sunday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, we will be live with the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. Won't be on Saturday this week. We're going to be on Sunday. True Jaw Josh is busy on Saturday, so we're bringing it to you on Sunday. And Sunday's a big night because we'll also have our Forbidden Door watch party. And then on Monday, I will be live. I believe True Jaw Josh will be joining me for that, for our Forbidden Door review. And maybe we'll have some special guests for that as well. So stay locked here. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content. If I haven't said it already on this stream, thank you so much for helping us reach 16,000 subscribers. We've went up by 1,000 subscribers in this month alone. So we appreciate y'all for all the support. Y'all been killing it this month. And join us live for all the great content for Forbidden Door weekend. Me and Jimmy will be back with you next Thursday for AEWramble. So until then, for Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been AEWramble 152. Door off the hinges. We are signing off until next time.